My name is Donna-Marie Chambers. Next year I'll be 60 years old, even though I don't look it, I'm sure. And I will be sharing with you today about looking after my 80-year-old mother who has dementia. Dementia has been defined as a disorder of the brain causing memory loss and communication difficulties. That is in the thinking and in the behavior of the person. It's very personal when you look after someone that has dementia. And it can be very invasive as well. Because for me, it's been about 8 or 10 years now that my mother has had this dementia, and it has started off as symptoms of old age, and now she's totally dependent on me, and I have had to sacrifice my life completely for her. I don't go anywhere, I don't do anything, I just look after my mom morning till night. Well, she is my mom, and I do love her, and the Bible does say that we must look after our parents. My father is already deceased. Growing up, I heard of mental illness on my father's side of the family. I was born in the 60s, and I grew up as a teenager in the 70s, and mental illness was a big taboo, something shameful, a big family secret. Nobody talked about it. The person was put aside and just left to be there. So I did have a personal experience of mental illness on my father's side. My uncle just jumped a fence one day and was never seen after that ever again. So you can imagine the shock when I realized my mother seemed to have had mental illness. She was just doing and saying things so differently. So I started my reading, I started interacting as best as I could to find out what it is I was dealing with. And eventually, I ended up with her at UWI, and she was diagnosed through a brain scan with dementia and put on medication. The medication has helped, but what it does is it just slows down the process. It doesn't cure dementia. And as a result of that, you still go through all the things that dementia people put you through, just at varying stages. So she couldn't remember certain things, she couldn't remember where she put things, she couldn't remember things that she said, things that she did. And so after a while, I had to bring her to live with me in my house so that I could monitor her completely. And by the way, I'm my mother's only child. I have no sibling support. I only have the support of my husband, who is a heart patient, and my 2 adult daughters who live with me, and 1 adult daughter that lives in Montego Bay. They help me and support me as best as they possibly can. But basically, I'm my mother's sole caregiver. Now that my mom is living with me and I'm seeing dementia up close and personal, I can tell you, there are days when I do nothing but cry. There are days when I don't feel like I can go on. There are days when looking after my mother sucks up all of my energy and all of my activity. I sometimes at the end of the day don't even realize I haven't eaten, I haven't had a shower, I haven't done anything, no housework, no house chores, nothing. Because as I said before, I look after her full-time. I also look after her husband, who is a heart patient. And I myself have issues. I'm diabetic. I have osteoarthritis. And they say I have high blood pressure. I got that one late, so I'm assuming that it's the dementia that gave me that one. When you have to look after someone with dementia and then have other issues that are underlying, it makes it really that much more challenging. For example, I have to be so careful what I give her to eat because the diabetes. But then if she looks at it and she doesn't think that that is something that she eats, even though it is something that she loves, she will just not eat it. There is interactions. Sometimes I just find her sitting on the side of the bed crying. Mommy, what happened to you? Nothing, I don't know. Mommy, why are you crying? Nothing, I don't know. Mommy, are you feeling pain? No, not really. Mommy, what can I do to help you? I don't know. Many times I have to back out of the room because the tears are streaming down my face. My mother, who I knew as a very strong, self-contained, able to do anything woman, is like a shell before me some days. It's hard to watch and it's hard to interact. It's hard to see this person as the woman that raised you, taught you everything you know, and then speaks to you as if she's your child. Many mornings I have gone into the room and she has said, "Good morning, Mama." And I say to her, "I'm not your mom." "Oh, who are you?" "I'm your daughter." "You're my daughter?" "Yes, I'm your daughter." "Do I have any other children?" "No." "You're my only daughter?" "Yes." "And I have grandchildren?" "Yes." "You have 3 grandchildren. 2 live right here with you." "Really?" You know, I guess I can laugh right now and I can chuckle right now. And there are some days when there are things that she says really does make me chuckle in a very sad way. But when you really look at this person and you think, this is my mother, whom I love so much, and who has done so much for me over the years, has sacrificed herself for me. And the only thing I can do is just be present, which I know is important, but I'd love to be able to have a conversation with her, a coherent conversation. I'd love to be able to sing and pray with her, but she has no idea what's happening. Things that she loves to do, like crosswords and watch TV, and I may put on the TV or the radio, and in half an hour, it's turned off and she's gone to bed. And that's another thing. Sometimes she just sleeps all day, making me worry completely. Is she dead? Is she in a coma? It's challenging. Dementia is challenging. And I suppose all other forms of mental illness are also very challenging. But the one thing I'm very happy for is that, not like in my day, now people can take medication for mental illness and they can get help and it can be talked about. And there's actually a day now designated to mental health and a week that is now dedicated to mental health. So we can all talk and help each other and compare notes, systems, things that we can do to help the person that we're looking after, help the people that we know, and help those who have children or parents or relatives with mental illness to be able to not be ashamed of it, take it out of the closet, bring it out into the open where it needs to be, so that we can really care for our loved ones the way they deserve to be cared for. This is my parting shot. My prayer every day that I get up is that I don't become my mother. Because I too have underlying issues. I'm nearly 60 years old, so I can get dementia tomorrow. And what I see I have to go through to my mother, I am praying and asking God to spare me so that I don't have to put my 3 daughters through this.